G'day everyone, what is going on? It is your favorite producer from Down Under, Jhin, back with another video. And in this one, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a pain melody inspired by artists such as LIL DURK or Rod Wave inside of FL Studio. But yeah, if you are new here, I would greatly appreciate it if you do punch that subscribe button for me. And while you're at it, flick that little notification bell so you get notified every single time that I do upload a video. Friendly reminder that I stream live over on Twitch every single day from 10 PM AEST. So if you want to chuck me a follow over there and catch up with the shenanigans, would greatly appreciate that one also. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into FL Studio and let's deconstruct this sample. Okay, so here we are inside of FL Studio, and like majority of my samples, not really that much is happening with this one. We have 4 instances, 3 melodic and 1 bass. Now to begin with, I wanted a piano. So the piano that we ended up going for is from Contact. It is the basic pure piano, and it is the Neo Pure Contact Bank. Now the pattern that we are playing with this one is fairly simple. I am going to be rebuilding it so you guys can see exactly what I did. Now we are working in the key of G minor at a BPM of 150. So keeping that in mind, I went to the bass notes. Now obviously if we're working in the key of G minor is one of the first notes that you can use. So keeping that in mind, I put that down. Now I ended up doing 2 notes per bar. So we have G and then G again. Then I ended up working my way up the scale where we go to A sharp. Now I wanted it to be a little bit dark and have a little bit of tension to it. So going from A sharp, we ended up going down to A. And then to end this bass pattern, we ended up going down to D sharp. Now we just copied that over, Control-C, Control-V, and just pitched it down an octave just to make the bass range a little bit more full. Going on to the top melody, we do have 2 notes that repeat itself over and over, and we are also working in a triplet pattern. Keeping that in mind, we started with this D. Now this one plays over and over throughout the whole sample. The reason we did this is we wanted 2 notes repeating over and over, playing one after another, just to ground the melody. After that, we actually repeated the G over and over. Going on to the first top melody, now we are working in a triplet pattern, so it is going to be giving it that triplet bounce. Now, given the fact that we have this D here, I decided, let's start with D for the top melody. So we did that. Then we ended up going down to C. Now D, G, and C actually work together really nicely. There isn't that dissonance, and going D to C also works for the top melody. Once we did that, we went down to A sharp, and to end it, we go back up to the C. Now that pattern repeats over and over for the full melody. The really high melody that we have though kind of gets a little bit more complicated. So we have this D, then this D. Now I wanted a note that would actually still work with these first Ds that we're playing. So we went to A sharp. Then we have this D7. Now as you can see, D5, D6, obviously the D is going to work in this one. We go down to A, which also works because it is in the scale. And then to end it, we go back to A sharp, which is the exact same as that down here and over here. So it will work because it's already in the melody. It has already got that similarity to the rest of the sample. Now we just Control-C and Control-V that one all the way through until we get to the end of every 4th bar, where we go A sharp 7 to A, to D, to C, and then for the next part, A sharp to A, to F, to G, just to make it sound a little bit different so it's not the exact same thing repeating. Just doing subtle changes like that can make your melody sound a bit more unique, but in context, this is what the piano sounds like. As you can hear, really simple, really bouncy, and by changing the final bar of each 4 bars, we actually do make it sound like it is a little bit different and just makes it fresh practically. Going on to the next element, it comes from Arcade, and what we are using is the Trill Flute 1 note kit from the Drip Bank. And all we're doing is just a really simple pattern. We're doing a couple of triplet runs where we go G to A sharp to C, then up to the D, then down to C. Now that one repeats over, but for the final note, we bump it up to G. Repeats over again, but for the final part, we go G, A sharp, C, then we do a couple of bounce notes where we go D, break D, C, break C, and then A sharp down to the G, just to, you make it sound a little bit different and also give it more of that bounce. In context, sounds like so. Having those breaks in between actually forces the bounce of this melody, but it's just something really nice. It's really subtle, and it just gives it that extra groove. Going on to the next part of this sample, it comes in from Serum, and we are using the Mafia bass. Now, if you do want to cop this preset, there'll be a link to it in the description where you can download it for free, or you can also join my Discord because it is available in my Discord as well. But all we're doing with this bass is we're just following the root notes of the piano. As you can see, G to A sharp to A down to the D sharp. In context, it just sounds like so. Really simple, but yet again, having the A sharp to the A builds suspense and also makes the melody sound a bit dark as well. The final instance that we have in this melody comes from Contact, and all it is viola staccato from Sonoscore the Orchestra, and it's just playing really simple runs throughout the whole sample. In context, it just sounds like so. The only reason that I added this was I want to give it, that orchestral feel, also make it sound a bit more epic as well. Just make it sound a little bit hard hitting. Yeah, that is the easiest way that you can make a melodic sample for an artist such as LIL Durk, Lil Baby, or Rod Wave inside of FL Studio. If you are new here, I would greatly appreciate it yet again if you do punch that subscribe button for me. And while you're at it, flick that little notification bell. Friendly reminder as well that I do stream live over on Twitch, so if you want to chuck me a follow over there and catch up with the shenanigans, would greatly appreciate that one too. But yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next week for another video.